All right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Let's do this. Some interesting things happening in our country, in our government. I try to keep these apolitical or non-political, rather. But hopefully, I'll make my pitch for compassion here in a second. This bill that just passed the Senate. It was interesting to just watch the shenanigans and the back and forth and so on. And one part of it really stood out to me, and that was Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, who was pretty vocal about opposition to how bad this bill was going to be for most regular Americans. And she ended up voting for it because they just gave Alaska all these different carve outs. And so the two things came up for me there. One was just, it was just a profile in cowardice, and just feeling very, very sad about that. But also, it struck me that there's this peculiar illusion there that, I mean, she even said, I know this bill is not good for 49 other states, but for Alaska, and I got elected to represent the Alaskans. For Alaskans, we got some relief from some of the pain points of this bill, so I voted for it. I was just thinking there's this strange delusion of the separateness of self from others. And I think at the heart of that is just a a lack of compassion. I don't know what else to call it, but it's just this illusion that somehow, as long as I get mine, I'm going to be okay. And it doesn't really matter what happens to others because it's not affecting me. And forgetting that, I and you and we are all interconnected, and there is no escaping, you know, your pain is my pain ultimately, because we're all just one part of the same big puzzle here. So anyway, that's my entry point into compassion, and I think this quote by Eckhart Tolle is a good one. When I realized that my inner dialogue was essentially that I can no longer live with myself, I realized that there must be two selves, the I and the self that I couldn't live with. So just emphasizing this trick that the mind plays in terms of thinking that there's this separate sense of me and that it's different from everyone else out there. Um, so let's see if we can do a compassion practice and sort of break that spell a little bit. So compassion, I define it as our ability to recognize suffering in others and to cultivate a heartfelt desire to alleviate that suffering. Um, yeah, so let's do that for a few minutes and see how it goes. So close your eyes, slowing things down, noticing the chair beneath you being supported by the ground, slow but consistent and reliable tug of gravity, pulling our feet down, pulling ourselves into the chair, and working your way up the spine to the very top of your head. See if you can connect with a sense of like an invisible thread, just gently pulling upwards to the very top of your skull. Just find a grounded, alert, yet relaxed position. Just noticing breath coming and going. So you can feel your heart beating and actually hear my heart beating in my ears right now. Just noticing the flickering of the eyes and the eyeballs. And then bring to mind a vulnerable being. It can be a child, a be a pet, an animal, and it's hurt, and you're there holding this child who's in distress, and just feel into that situation. I'm guessing it doesn't take that much to bring that kind of a memory front and center. Someone's hurt, and you're there, you're feeling their pain, you're hearing their pain, you're connecting with I think the innate desire to alleviate that suffering or that pain. And just notice where in the body does that live? Seeing another being in distress, connecting with a part of you wants them to be free from that pain or suffering. Imagining this tearful toddler sitting on your lap, skinned knee, tears, and you have the ability to take a cool, damp washcloth and place it over that skinned knee. Just feel into that and notice where in the body that imagery resonates. What's it like to take action to alleviate suffering and pain? One hand on the washcloth over the injured knee and the skin, cooling it. The other hand, the back of sort of rubbing the back of this little child, providing comfort and love and safety. Really savoring the experience and the privilege of being in that position, to be able to provide comfort and care to someone that's hurting. With each in breath, take a little bit of that pain and discomfort that they're experiencing, take it in, transmute it, and then with each out breath, just release it back into the world. In that sense, we can become a conduit of compassion and kindness. Each in breath, breathing it in, letting it go. This is what it means to embody compassion. And take a deep breath in through the nose, long, slow exhale through the mouth, letting go of any remnants of suffering or pain, just shaking it off. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In through the nose, slowly out through the mouth, letting go, releasing, getting back to the present moment. Hold the out breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes, come on back. Um, Buddhists have this wonderful idea of bodhisattva, and bodhisattva is the name for a person who travels the earth in this life and is this conduit that I was just talking about, sort of taking in the suffering of others and being a conduit for compassion. So I think of all of us as bodhisattvas. So take care, everyone. Thanks for joining.